Almost 11 hours in football terms since last Gigi Buffon conceded. Giorgio Chiellini misses the game through injury. Patrice Evra starts in a back four. Juve have never lost with Sami Khedira in the side. He has a great record against Bayern too. Juan Cuadrado and Paul Pogba provide the flair. Ex-Bayern striker Mario Mandzukic is back after a 5-game absence. He and Pep Guardiola are not the best of friends. There is tremendous mutual respect. Neither side fearful, but on high alert, aware of the damage the other can inflict. Confirmation that Martin Atkinson is the man in the middle. He was on duty here in Turin for Juve's 2-1 semi-final first leg triumph over Real Madrid last season. In front of Manu Neuer, Philipp Lahm makes his 100th UEFA Champions League appearance. Joshua Kimmich and David Alaba tested together at Augsburg recently. Our central defensive partners. Arturo Vidal starts against the club. He served for 4 years. Now Xavi Alonso, Thomas Müller and Robert Lewandowski are the key figures in attack. 39 Bundesliga goals between them this term, 12 in the Champions League from that formidable duo. It's a pleasant night for football as we look at the Centurion, Philipp Lahm, wearing the armband for Bayern. Just about ready to get the proceedings underway. Well, we should be in for a treat. Just a slight pause as Martin Atkinson checks with his colleagues. Any second now, I think. Juventus and Bayern Munich thrust together in the last 16. A confrontation that wouldn't be out of place were at the final itself. Instead, the road to Milan on the 28th of May goes through Turin and then Munich. Only one of these footballing behemoths will still be standing come the conclusion of the tie in Bavaria 3 weeks tomorrow. A little bit of hesitancy from Alaba. So it fell for Mandzukic. Owen Hargreaves is with me.
Well, great opportunity for Juventus. That's the one thing Bayern loves, to have possession, press the ball. That ball over the top is always a danger for this Bayern Munich team. That's why David Alaba, one of the big reasons he'll play at the back as a centre-back. He's so quick. Joshua Kimmich, normally a central midfield player, playing there tonight as well with all the injuries that Bayern Munich have. Should be an interesting battle against Mandzukic and Dybala.
Ryan Robin with the shuffle of feet. Now to play it to Robert Lewandowski. And Cuadrado is vying for it. Douglas Costa went in as well. Max Allegri, the man in charge of Juventus, spectacular first season in charge, guiding Juve to a double and a Champions League final appearance. I think there were many who doubted him when he took over the reins. Juan Bernat. We're going to talk a lot about the height advantage that Juventus have. It's Bayern without Jerome Boateng, without Javi Martinez, without Holger Badstuber. It's a much shorter defence, let's just say, than usual, Owen.
Well, talking about the height, but if Bayern have the ball, it's not going to be an issue. Just look at the position Philipp Lahm's already taken up. Playing as a right back, he just drifts into midfield when Bayern are in possession. As Rafa Hünigstein was saying before the game, Bayern players so versatile, tactically so flexible.
There's young Joshua Kimmich, his first season with Bayern Munich. He was signed as a defensive midfield player, but really impressed with his work at the back, Owen.
Brilliant young player, normally plays in front of that back ball, very good in possession. Again, another player, very versatile. Terrific signing from Bayern Munich. He's had a very good season, only 21 years old. but I think he's a big favourite of Pep Guardiola's.
Guardiola in his final season with Bayern Munich. Manchester City bound come the summer. Carlo Ancelotti to move into the post. A big night for Mario Mandzukic. I mentioned earlier, didn't leave on the best of terms with Pep Guardiola.
You can see Juventus very happy to sit off, allow Bayern the possession.
Here is Alaba. An exciting Douglas Costa trying to lose Stefan Lichtsteiner. And Vidal on the volley. Arturo Vidal playing against his former club. Robin. Inquiry there from Bayern Munich. Lewandowski. His shirt was being pulled.
Well, technically that's some take from Arturo Vidal. Very good technique, great ball in from Arjen Robben. Lewandowski just falls over. What a strike from Vidal. See Lewandowski asking for a pen. Good refereeing from Martin Atkinson.
Arturo Vidal incidentally said before a ball was kicked that if he were to score tonight, he wouldn't celebrate. So a lot of respect. 4 years at Juventus, 4 titles won. Fascinating battle tonight, and in 3 weeks' time, Juventus against Bayern in the UEFA Champions League. Great to have you with us on BT Sport. Paul Pogba. Controlled by Cuadrado. Prospering in this loan spell from Chelsea. Leonardo Bonucci, number no Giorgio Chiellini. This is out again. Lichtsteiner was over to the wrong position. Lewandowski was lurking on the left for Bayern. Stefan Lichtsteiner, the Swiss international. Dybala. Tossing it out with Arturo Vidal.
We see the one from Lewandowski again, not enough contact. Goes down too easily, Lewandowski. Good refereeing from Martin Atkinson.
Bonucci was Lewandowski's direct opponent. Here is Alaba. Austrian Player of the Year for the 5th time running. Vidal. Kimmich. Returning from Stuttgart, although he had been on loan at Rasenballsport Leipzig, who are the current leaders of the German 2nd division. Turned 21 a couple of weeks ago, Joshua Kimmich. The width again provided by Douglas Costa. In fact, he has had on the Bundesliga in his first season in Germany. Thiago to ping it to Robin. He runs at Patrice Evra. Got the nick on the ball, Evra. Lam. Thomas Müller had positioned himself inside the opposition penalty area. Douglas Costa. There's Alaba. As Bayern circulate the ball.
I think Juventus are showing Bayern Munich too much respect so far. Obviously Bayern so good attacking wise, but tonight the weak point is that back four. They're so deep, Juventus.
Thiago. Lam. Mandzukic trying to get on top of him. Has to be teammates. Robin. He's been in fine form these past few matches. Alaba. Douglas Costa. Show Cuadrado a clean pair of heels. Alaba for Thiago this time. Douglas Costa, Juventus just can't get the ball. Müller was the man who left it. And the play it goes. Robin unable to reach it. 0-0 with 7.5 minutes on the clock. Guardiola, a great believer that for the best form of defence is to keep possession of the football.
Well, especially when you're back four, they're all about 5'6". They're all very short, they're all so smart.
Munich 8 points clear of Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga. They travel to Dortmund on the 5th of March. Müller out wide. Spalletti and Andrea Barzagli in central defence for Juventus. Frustration for Mandzukic. Thiago wasn't quite expecting that. Howls of derision from the Juventus supporters. Turin, as the decision goes Bayern's way. After that initial wobble, Mandzukic trying to discomfit Alaba. Bayern looking very much in control.
Very much so. Just look at the position of the two fullbacks, Philipp Lahm and Juan Bernat. They're playing central midfield virtually. It's quite incredible. In attacking positions, they love to come inside.
Costa. Just trying to touch it into the path of Müller. Here's Philipp Lahm. Claudio Marchisio back there defending. The local boy, product of the Juventus youth scheme. David Alaba. Only possession statistics favouring Bayern Munich. Arjen Robben. Just too strong for Thomas Müller. As Juve are given a breather, finally.
We're going to see Barzagli. Lewandowski. Really good clearance from Barzagli. Douglas Costa in those areas is so dangerous. But Juventus need to find a way to keep the ball. Get Paul Pogba into the game. Dybala's the X-factor for this Juventus team. Most goals, most assists. He's barely had a touch 10 minutes in.
It's a run of 15 consecutive Serie A victories for Juventus prior to Friday. A 0-0 draw in Bologna. 13 wins on the trot in all competitions. This time Bayern were on Italian soil. Put Roma to the sword. 7-1 triumph in the group stage last season. Ribery amongst the substitutes tonight. He's been working his way back from injury.
That's why you press the ball. That's the first time Juventus have come out and forced Manuel Neuer into a mistake. I think Bayern are just too good to drop in and absorb pressure. Allows the fullbacks to get forward. Creates overloads.
This plays pass by Vidal. Pogba. Dybala, and it's Mandzukic. Opportunity was there.
And that's why you press the ball. Force mistakes. Terrific ball in from Dybala. And Mandzukic should do better. In acres of space, he actually takes it very early, Dybala. David Alaba misses it. Almost could take a touch, Mandzukic. Such a good goal scorer normally.
Robben. They have pushed higher up the pitch. Douglas Costa running at Lichtsteiner. Flashes it right across the face of goal, Douglas Costa.
That's the only problem. If you go and press the ball high, Bayern can counter-attack so quick. Douglas Costa, one of the quickest players you'll see in the Champions League. So effective in creating, but a good goal scorer as well this season.
Morata unable to get into the side tonight. So influential in the Champions League last season for Juventus. Won to the final. The dream ended by Barcelona in Berlin. Douglas Costa. And Thiago for Bayern Munich. Two gargantuan football clubs. Juventus and Bayern. Meeting twice in the space of 3 weeks. Lahm and Lewandowski, and here's Müller. Couldn't touch it over the line. It's almost slow motion stuff inside the penalty area.
Unbelievable. Lewandowski so unselfish.
Douglas Costa. Comes off Stefan Lichtsteiner. Bayern have chiselled a corner out of this.
Watch this ball from Kimmich. Great reverse pass from Philipp Lahm. So unselfish. Just behind Thomas Müller. And that touch just tries to set it and finish it. It's just behind him. What an opportunity for Bayern Munich.
Taken short by Douglas Costa to Thiago. Cuadrado there to meet Douglas Costa. Alaba. Lahm. Mandzukic. Back there as the additional defender for the Bianconeri. And Dybala, that distinctive running style of his. Kimmich, Thomas Müller, he and Lewandowski have been the Bayern catalysts in front of goal since they came back after the winter break. That one went to begging just seconds ago for Thomas Müller. Douglas Costa. Won their group. 5 wins out of 6 in Group F, losing only to Arsenal. Juventus coming second in their section, behind Manchester City. Look at that. 77% for the away side, possession-wise.
And that's against the Italian champions. A very good team defensively, very good in possession themselves.
Lewandowski trying to dovetail with Müller. Pogba was back that time. Barzagli for Buffon.
Bayern make it look so easy in possession. Everything's 1 and 2 touches. They move the ball so quickly. So difficult to get anywhere near them. Out ball is always on. It almost looks like they play with one more.
What a tackle that was by Thiago. Just coming off second best in the early going. Robin. Now Vidal. Some effortless quality about Bayern Munich's football. Ryan Bernat. Alaba safety first. Back to Manuel Neuer. It's Cuadrado who's gone to ground, back on his feet now. Douglas Costa. Goal kick this time.
It's been a brilliant start from Bayern Munich. So unselfish from Lewandowski, just tries to play in. Thomas Müller, they've combined so well this season. It's just behind him, takes a poor touch. Pep Guardiola can't believe it.
The 10 goals in the Rückrunde so far. That's the second half of the Bundesliga season for Bayern Munich, all from Lewandowski and Müller. 39 Bundesliga goals for the season between the pair of them. It's never been a more dangerous twosome after 22 rounds in Bundesliga history. Lewandowski there, 40 goals in 37 matches for club and country since the season started. Can't really argue with that, Owen.
They've been remarkable. I think the difference is this season, Lewandowski almost has a partner now in Thomas Muller, just playing in behind him. Much closer to Lewandowski this season. Robin out wide, Douglas Costa on the left. And they look so dangerous for Bayern Munich. The relationship Lewandowski and Muller have, brilliant.
I spoke to Giorgio Chiellini earlier. I think he was doing his best to look away.
He might be happy he's not playing.
Yeah. Had he been in the starting 11, it could well have been 3 at the back for Juventus. I know they were thinking along those lines. Costa just trying to make his way towards the ball again. Allegri succeeded Antonio Conte. Interestingly, both men being linked with Chelsea this week. Bonucci away that time for Juve. Here is Lichtsteiner. Quadrado. Bernat draped all over him. Lichtsteiner again. Bayern trying to swarm forward. Vidal's measured pass. Bonucci ushering it back to Buffon. Champions League season for Gianluigi Buffon. Dybala, young man from Argentina. Lichtsteiner. Only very effective going forward. Here's Quadrado. Caught by Douglas Costa.
Well, he's had a terrific season, Juan Quadrado, for Juventus. It's a complete different player from that one we saw in the Premier League at Chelsea, just on loan this season.
Yellow card for Douglas Costa, and the Bayern players far from happy with that decision made by Martin Atkinson.
That's an incredibly soft yellow card. It's the first foul from Bayern Munich at all.
Marchisio and Dybala are the two Juve players over it. Still trying to plead his case, Douglas Costa. "20 minutes have elapsed here at the Juventus Arena. By Marchisio. Bonucci. Insufficient power. An easy meet for Neuer. The slap by Kimmich. And here's Dybala. Pogba. Just a token appeal for handball as it came off Vidal. Simply nothing doing there. Quadrado. Lichtsteiner. Quadrado looking one way, passing in the other direction. Danger of showing too much of it to Müller. Quadrado. Thiago guarding that sector of the pitch. Now Dybala. Here is Pogba. Counter-attacking possibilities very real for Bayern. Lewandowski leading the charge. Took a deflection. Throws away by Barzagli. times European club champions, Bayern Munich. Competed in 3 of the last 6 Champions League finals. Semi-final stage has been Bayern's exit point the last couple of years. Thiago, Barzagli, and it comes to Arjen Robben. He has a crack at goal. Appealing Robben.
Well, every time Juventus drop off, Bayern create chances.
Just a reminder, it's Dynamo Kiev against Manchester City coming up tomorrow, 7 o'clock, BT Sport Europe for that game. And also tomorrow, PSV at home to Atletico Madrid, BT Sport 2 from 7. Shot for handball, as it came off Vidal. Owen?
No, not for me. His hand doesn't go to the ball. It's only about a yard away.
Plenty of space. Dybala tried to bring the ball under control. A relatively high degree of difficulty, but there was a gap there in the Bayern defence.
Well, that gap's always there. Bayern love to press. They play very high, especially that back line. That ball over the top, if it's precise, it's very difficult for Bayern to defend. Expect Dybala to take a better touch, even though it was difficult. But that's 2 balls over the top for Juventus and 2 half chances.
Douglas Costa always draws a crowd to burrow through. Showing off a company. The Juventus players, the Juve supporters aren't having it. It's gone Bayern's way. Corner here. Thiago to do the honours. Juventus with the height advantage. It's a very poor corner anyway from Thiago. Philipp Lahm, Champions League appearance number 100 for Bayern Munich's Mr. Reliable. Arturo Vidal. David Alaba.
You see the fullbacks take up those positions, Bernat and Lahm, because he wants the wide men to have 1v1 outside. Such intelligent coaching from Pep Guardiola.
Alaba. Lahm with Thiago as Bayern keep the ball. Here's Arjen Robben to sidestep Patrice Evra. Mandzukic offering assistance to Evra. That's all Patrice Evra could do. Vidal, Thiago. There's a heavy touch by Müller. Barzagli. So he will officially commit his future to Juventus any day now. It's been an ongoing story for a while. Had to put pen to paper. There's no let up from Bayern Munich. Pogba. He's trying to slow down Müller. And he gets the tackle in, Paul Pogba. Lam was right on top of him. Bayern continue to press.
What a player he is, Paul Pogba. Technically so good, athletically so big and strong, so comfortable in possession.
Dybala and Evra trying to provide Dybala with the ball. Applause further back from Gigi Buffon. Twice Champions League finalist with Juventus, hasn't given up hope. Actually lifting the trophy. Everyone said before this game, round of 16 tie maybe, but semi-final level of difficulty. That sums it up pretty accurately. Two of the stronger sides left in the competition. But one will bow out. Just come in. Bayern Munich seeing so much of the ball in the first half. It's been a struggle for Juventus to get going at all in this, their home leg.
I see there Dybala just lifting his arms, frustrated. Star player, he wants to get on the ball. He's barely had a kick. And they just keep dropping off into this deep defending position. Bayern must have 80% possession. And that tells you what Juventus think of Bayern Munich, how good they are.
Thomas Müller nods it down. Sami Khedira is there to tidy up. Used to enjoy playing against Bayern when he was a Stuttgart player. 3 wins and 6. Robin and Müller. Robin. To Douglas Costa. Alvarado did an effective enough job that time. Joshua Kimmich. Pogba. Just taking the tumble for Pogba. Kimmich to throw it back in. This is what Bayern do to most teams in the Bundesliga. Giving Juventus a taste of that in the Champions League. But no scoring.
Well, I think Juventus have more to offer. They're a far better team. Obviously a lot of respect. But you see there, Khedira has barely had a kick in this game.
Lewandowski. To dish it off. Thiago was the man who had gone forward. It's good work prior to that by Douglas Costa. They cherish the ball, don't they, Bayern Munich? Alaba. There's Juan Bernat. He's not long back from injury, was out with an adductor problem. Lam. Robin. Defence the priority for Juventus in this half. Out of necessity. Douglas Costa. Slacked by the Brazilian. Dybala was there. Cuadrado. Douglas Costa.
Fans getting a bit frustrated. Poor in possession, Juventus so far.
Ian Robin. Douglas Costa trying to link the play. Lewandowski. Müller pops up on the right, and it's Bernat of all people, and Buffon takes the weight off the shot. Well, Juve keep it out. Andrea Agnelli and all the dignitaries in the Tribune of Honour can't be enjoying this from the Juve point of view.
You know Bayern are good, but they're making it a bit too easy.
Robin for Bayern. Lam, Kimmich. Does make a single appearance for his former parent club, Stuttgart. Will be the recipient of the free kick this time.
I saw Leverkusen play Bayern Munich about 4 weeks ago. You see the chance from Bernat. A bit clumsy from Buffon, but he does just enough Back to that Leverkusen game, you saw Leverkusen press Bayern Munich in their own half, virtually up, all the way up to Manuel Neuer. And I've never seen Bayern Munich, see Karl-Heinz Rummenigge react, I've never seen them so ordinary in possession. They gave the ball away so much. And when you drop off and you allow them to play, so difficult.
Thiago. Leave a man to take this by the look of things. Douglas Costa running over the ball. It is Thiago. They had plenty of bodies in there, including Lewandowski. Blank score sheet. Vidal gives Neuer a touch. Steiner, it's got to go the way of Bayern Munich. There's a big European week. Thursday night is Europa League night. Liverpool at home to German opposition Augsburg. 5:30 BT Sport Europe after the 0-0 draw. Not the first time of asking. Manchester United have a job to do. BT Sport 2 for their game against Midtjylland. 7:30. And Spurs in the driving seat, you would think, against Fiorentina. 7:45. BT Sport ESPN for the second leg of that tie in the Europa League. Pogba. There's Lam. Making sure nothing untoward happened. Alaba using Bernat. And that goal-scoring opportunity earlier for Bayern Munich. Thiago. Dybala is going the wrong way. Steiner tripped by Lewandowski.
Oh, when Bayern have the ball, they have so many options on the ball. Juventus look the opposite. Dybala running down a blind alley. Steiner gets fortunate. What a ball from Thiago. Already 4 assists in the Champions League. Such a good passer of the ball. Lewandowski should do better.
Trying to protect the ball. Barzagli for Marchisio. His debut for Juventus back in 2006. Lichtsteiner unable to keep it in. Bayern Munich making Juventus look very ordinary.
Not sure the point in playing 2 centre forwards if you're not going to have the ball. You're not going to get any service to him. Mandzukic isn't doing a lot defensively as well. This ball into Kimmich is always on.
Philip Lahm. So quite a lot of interchanging where Bayern are concerned. Bernat. Header away by Bonucci for Juve. Lam. Alaba. Philip Lam going to do the probing. Douglas Costa. Waiting to his left, but a shorter pass to Thiago was favoured. Joshua Kimmich.
Just can't get anywhere near Bayern Munich.
Douglas Costa. To veer in field. Now Thiago. Arturo Vidal. That was clumsy by Mandzukic. He's been penalised for that intervention. Kimmich on the receiving end. Verbal rebuke for Mandzukic from Martin Atkinson. Quadrado. It's Thiago. Bonucci doing the appealing. Free kick to Juventus.
There's no way that's handball. Bonucci tries to scoop it over Thiago. Get lucky.
Pogba trying to spread play to Quadrado. Didn't quite have the legs. And applause from the Juventus supporters. They're clinging to anything at the moment.
I think Allegri needs to change something. Get Paul Pogba in the centre of the pitch. Get him on the ball. I think he's wasted on that left-hand side. Mandzukic hasn't really featured in the game so far, besides that one chance, which he didn't take. I think they need another midfielder or a wide man on that left side. Let Pogba come into that number 10 position. If they're going to counter-attack, Dybala's the man for that.
Mandzukic, who was quite vocal in the lead-up to this game about Pep Guardiola. So they wouldn't even want to have a cup of coffee with him nowadays. Show him respect. Latterly at Bayern Munich, disappointed in him. 71% of the possession with Bayern Munich so far. Marquisio comes off Kimmich. It's all been very tentative from Juventus.
Well, that's what they need to start doing, winning tackles. That's why Marquisio's in the side. Really good play for Marquisio. But they need to keep the ball better. They need. If they're going to play Mandzukic, they need a target man. Got to get the ball into his feet, let him bring other people into play.
It's interesting just to look at the setup of the two sides as Bayern to the build-up routine again. Mandzukic has hardly touched the ball. Similar story for Dybala. Marquisio, the man fouled here.
I see Thomas Muller just a bit late on Marquisio. How about that from Kimmich? Playing as a centre-back, scooping it over top of Pogba, 21 years old. So comfortable in possession.
It's the only disappointing aspect of the performance so far for Bayern, Owen, is the lack of goals. They've had the ball, carved out a couple of chances.
Oh, they played very well away from home to dominate possession against the Italian champions. Very mature performance, but as you said, you need goals. An away goal in the Champions League is massive. They need to score a goal tonight.
Douglas Costa. And Buffon got a piece of that, but it comes to Arjen Robben. Evra on the ground. Andrea Barzagli. Bundesliga winner with Wolfsburg. Kimmich this time. Trying to arrow it to Douglas Costa. Looking to play that over on the volley. Here he is again, the Brazilian. And Juve at 6s and 7s. Lichtsteiner did all he could.
Douglas Costa, brilliant wide man play. Just so quick, gets the ball out of his feet so early. Good punch from Buffon. Douglas
Costa whips it in. Arjen Robben is up there for the header. And the traffic flow very much towards Buffon in this half.
Well, they don't get many from set pieces, Bayern Munich. Great delivery in.
And there they are, the Bayern supporters in that north corner. Things have gone at the moment. just would snap your hand off for 0-0 come full time.
Well, in possession, they don't look like they have a clear plan.
There's Pogba. Robin didn't want to get too close to him. Now Dybala with a scurry, and it's Alaba. As finally Juve put Bayern under a bit of pressure.
Well, everything Juventus have done well, attacking-wise, has come through Dybala and Pogba. Need to find a way to get them in the game. They haven't had enough touches offensively.
Well, it's got the home crowd encouraged. Dybala. Lewandowski scraping it away, guarding that near post. Robin. Dybala. Well, he's outraged. Groans from the Juve supporters.
I think he says he's just trying to get out of the way. No contact at all. Difficult for the referee in that moment. Both players are running so quick. Looks like a foul, but wrong decision.
Thiago for Bayern Munich. Lewandowski. Moving over on the right-hand side for the German champions. Khedira. In the upper cul-de-sac. Müller. Robin. Robin versus Evra. As Douglas Costa to feed it back, and Thomas Müller. Bayern take the lead. It's no great surprise on the balance of play. Germany's record champions utterly dominant in the possession department, and Thomas Müller bags an away goal.
Well, they deserve it, Bayern Munich. Absolutely dominated this first half. And look at Thomas Müller, just trying to get into the box. That's a brilliant stand-up from Arjen Robben. And Thomas Müller is always in the right place at the right time. They deserve this, Bayern Munich. All they needed was a goal, as you said. And he always seems to take up the right position, Thomas Müller. Simple finish for him. All smiles for Pep Guardiola. Really good performance from Bayern Munich so far.
Sixth in the Champions League this season for Thomas Müller. We thought it was only a matter of time. That's how lopsided this first half has been. Juventus just unable to get into their stride. Müller, who came up a bit short, thinking back to the chance earlier, making no mistake that time on the cusp of the interval. Here's Lichtsteiner trying to go around the outside of Bernat. Mandzukic was waiting. Dybala inside the box now. Pogba faced by Vidal. Bayern Munich free kick. Pogba asking the question, who, me? What did I do? Martin Atkinson was fully convinced.
Really good play from Vidal. People talk about a height advantage for Mandzukic, but Kimmich just goes to attack the ball. Great cross in from Lichtsteiner, and an even better header from Kimmich.
A lot of worried looks etched on faces here at the Juventus arena. This is not going to plan. The Italian champions, just the 1 minute to be added on to the 45. We'll hear from Jake Humphrey, Michael Owen, Glenn Hoddle and Raphael Honigstein during the interval. Lichtsteiner. Douglas Costa backtracking. Here's Dybala. And down he goes. Martin Atkinson unmoved. Very Optimistic appeal. Marquisio, not Neuer to take charge.
Really good decision for Martin Atkinson. Not enough contact for Mato Vidal. Just goes down far too easy, Dybala.
We've had the one additional minute, and that will be all for the first half. A relentless red tide in Turin, and at the end of the half, Thomas Müller coming up trumps for Bayern Munich. Juventus having so little to say for themselves in an attacking sense. The half-time score in Turin reads Juventus 0, Bayern Munich. Juventus not at the races in the first 45. Will it be different in this half? The whistle of Martin Atkinson, and it's Bayern Munich to get the second half underway, attacking the goal to our right. Enjoying the lion's share of possession. Juventus not really getting a look in, forced right back onto the heels. There's Arturo Vidal. It's taken Vidal a bit of time to adapt to his new surroundings this season. Coming onto a game the last couple of matches. Mandzukic still out there on the pitch, and that might be a bit of a surprise to many.
Well, that's why you go press the ball. I think it is a surprise. He had a very poor first half. But Juventus initial start of this second half, they press in Bayern Munich's half and force two mistakes.
There's Patrice Evra making the journey forward from left back. Philipp Lahm over there to meet him. An activity for Manuel Neuer. Up the pitch. He's trying to release Douglas Costa. Juan Cuadrado. And the errant challenge coming in from Robert Lewandowski. Juve get on with it. Here's Barzagli. Was an ever-present in the Wolfsburg team that won the Bundesliga back in season 2008-2009. Arturo Vidal. And Neuer made it look routine.
I don't think Mandzukic is going to last much longer. If he's going to play, he needs to run that channel. He did that so well at Bayern Munich. It's a bit lethargic today.
It's Khedira. We only called out the name of Sami Khedira 2 or 3 times in that first half. Does have a fine record against Bayern. Perhaps things will turn for him after the interval, we shall see. Evra. Pogba. Although he has the talent, he's a peripheral figure in the first half. Lichtsteiner had made himself available inside the penalty area. Man who scored the first official goal here at the Juventus Arena. 4-1 win for Juve against Parma back in September 2011. Here's a beautifully appointed stadium. Juventus buying the land from the local council. It's the old Stadio delle Alpi, the unloved Stadio delle Alpi. Used to stand here. Pogba together with Lahm. Juventus supporters have had little to cheer about. Allegri's had little to smile about. Lahm.
Well, at least they're pressing the ball this second half. You press, you got to press as a group. Cuadrado just dropped off there, allowed Alaba to get possession. Got a little bit more energy in this second half.
I think all the talk in Germany prior to kick-off was about the height advantage enjoyed by Juventus on the so-called Bayern Munich midgets in comparison. hasn't been part of the narrative at all.
The ball hasn't been in the air once, has it?
No.
I mean, 80% possession. This Bayern team is so good, so flexible. That's two midfield players playing as centre-backs.
Used to be said by Jupp Heynckes that central defenders ought to be at least 6'2", ideally 6'4". We've got Joshua Kimmich, 5'9", Alaba 5'11". No difficulties encountered, really, by either man. Here's Robin, trying to keep Evra off balance. Lewandowski. Very much looking forward to representing Poland at the European Championship finals later on the year, and that stays in play. He flashes one in. Cuadrado having to stretch. Everyone stopped just for a fleeting moment. Vidal and Lewandowski. Down goes Buffon for Juve.
Well, Patrice Evra stopped, and you just can't afford to do that. Just watch Patrice Evra. Falls out. But if the linesman doesn't give it, you got to play on. It's a gamble.
Cuadrado having to do more defending. Bernat, the fancy footwork. Costa using Arjen Robben. Bayern won the Champions League in 2013. Douglas Costa. Here's Thiago. And from a long way out, Alaba. Maybe optimistic, just making sure Buffon was concentrating.
He's such a great striker of the ball, David Alaba. Loves to take up those positions. He took one up against Arsenal early in the Champions League. He'd be happy, Pep Guardiola.
Well, the passing has been very accurate from Bayern Munich as well. And all their other qualities shining through in this first leg. Almost perfect choreography on the pitch. Joshua Kimmich. Evra sliding in. Robin and Guardiola both pointing. They were sure that it's going to be a Bayern ball. It's gone the other way. It's the Bianconeri trying to build a head of steam, and that is the substitute. Martin Atkinson right up with play. Thomas Müller with the goal that separates these two. Wanted a brace at the weekend against Darmstadt. It wasn't any old double either. Two spectacular goals. One of them probably going to get the Goal of the Month award in Germany. Douglas Costa. Defenders backing off. Bernat involved again. The intricate play. Cuadrado. Trying to switch on the outer corners, but it's a desperately poor pass. Vidal had the measure of it. It's so aggravating for the Juve fans tonight, because there's been nothing remotely sustained from La Vecchia Signora, the old lady of Italian football. So much passing zest from Bayern Munich. Steiner went up for the header. Leonardo Bonucci. Juventus back in the summer of 2010 from Bari. He's under contract now until 2020. Evra has gone to 5 Champions League finals. With Manchester United in 2008 in Moscow. Hernandez. Juventus look for a route back into this first leg. Hernandez trying to pick a pass. Bernat together with Cuadrado. Now Dybala. Here's Sami Khedira. Vidal was closing in. Hernandez. Cuadrado. Kimmich with the header away. Very few tests in the air for Bayern Munich tonight. Thiago and Lewandowski farther forward. Müller and Robben offering support. Arjen Robben hits it with the left foot. It's a cracking goal. Arjen Robben for 2-0. Bayern Munich in the driving seat. Magnificent from Robben. Nothing Juventus could do.
Brilliant goal from Bayern Munich. Counter-attack. Perfection. And Juventus have been all over the place. See Lewandowski, bit of a tussle with Bonucci. Actually, this is a poor ball from Lewandowski. Should have played in Thomas Müller, but once he gets here 1v1, no chance at all. Just trying to get in on that left foot. Brilliant from Robben. Knows exactly where the goal is. Just around the defenders. Brilliant goal. And that's game over for Juventus.
Arjen Robben, the man who netted the winning goal in the 2013 Champions League final for Bayern Munich. He's delivered tonight here on Italian soil. The search for answers in the Juve camp goes on. Here's Dybala. Just beyond Pogba. Robben back there as a defender for Bayern Munich. There's a bit of contact, apparently so. Cuadrado has won the free kick. Thiago vehemently disagreeing.
Goes over easy, Cuadrado. Set pieces is a way for Juventus to get back into this game. Just amazed he played the two centre forwards. Mandzukic has barely had a kick. Such a quick counter-attack from Bayern Munich. I think he can play in Müller there. He doesn't. And 1 against 1 in this situation. They need to step out, Juventus. Far too easy for Robben. He's always going to win that battle. You need to double him up.
First goal since November for Arjen Robben. 26th goal of his UEFA Champions League career. Dybala, footed player, might fancy it here. Deflection. Was watching it all the way. Corner.
Well, they need a reaction, Juventus.
It's a grim story being written if you're a Juventus supporter. Great fans, and in that little corner, very close to Dybala, ecstatic. Cuadrado swings it over. By Vidal in the nick of time. And Lewandowski. In control of it. Cuadrado. He's feeling the pain there. Robert Lewandowski. Pogba. Bernat. The look on the face of Paul Pogba tells you all you need to know about how this is going. for the Bianconeri. 2-0 to Bayern Munich. This clash of European heavyweights. Well, they prove to be knockout punches. Those two goals. Thomas Müller just before half-time, and then an absolute corker from Arjen Robben. Waiting in the centre. There's Thomas Müller. Lewandowski, courageous there. Boot of Bonucci was flying.
I think there's definitely more goals than this. Bayern Munich just keep attacking. Great ball in.
Juventus haven't conceded a goal in 14 hours, just about. Two shipped in 12 minutes. So it goes sometimes when you play Bayern Munich. Dybala trying to find Mandzukic.
Well, he's not even available. He's not even trying to get the ball into feet. It's like he's not paying attention.
I remember the only non-Italian team to win here is the visiting side at the Juventus arena. It's the Bianconeri. And they're well placed to chalk up another one. 2-0 and 2-0 in both legs when last they met. Before the final stage 3 seasons ago. Pass by Vidal. Douglas Costa. Philip Lahm had his pocket picked by Mario Mandzukic. Robben to win it back for Bayern. Kimmich. So much authority for one so young. Not really a centre-half by trade. He hasn't grown up learning that position. Seems to fit it like a glove. Without Jerome Boateng, without Javi Martinez, also without Holger Badstuber, whose season is over. What Bayern have is footballers in abundance who can fill multiple roles. Thomas Müller, one such example. Hernandez. Arjen Robben. But there was no transgression.
There's no question Bayern Munich are brilliant. But I think Juventus have made this far too easy. Nedved can't believe what he's seeing. It's been one-way traffic all game.
Nedved, the man who gave the very first tour of this arena when it opened in 2011. Quadrado tried to make something happen. And that was chasing back.
There's a foul from Quadrado. But if you know Bayern Munich in the dominant position, 70% or more, why play two centre forwards? Mandzukic has barely had an impact on the game. If you're going to press from the front, I can understand that, but they haven't done that at all. It just hasn't worked at all for Juventus. I think Allegri needs to change. He's got a terrific young player, Morata, on the bench. They need a goal, Juventus, and quick.
Morata, one of the stars of the Juve show in the Champions League last season. Hasn't quite hit the heights in this campaign to anything like the same extent. Would give Juve a different look in attack. Here's Quadrado, Kimmich, and Mandzukic feeding it through. Dybala! Juventus on the score sheet, and that lifts the crowd. First hiccup at the back from Bayern Munich. And Dybala, the young prodigy, capitalises.
Well, he's the one that makes him tick. Kimmich, very sloppy, just gives it away. Great run from Dybala. And a really good finish. I said they needed a goal quick. and they got one.
First Champions League goal for the gifted Paulo Dybala. And Juventus back in business just like that. Alaba for Vidal. Pogba was trying to get into the face of Arturo Vidal. Well, now they've found their voices.
See Kimmich, just sloppy. Good awareness from Mandzukic, but that forward run from Dybala just runs off David Alaba. The inexperience of both the centre-backs there cost Bayern.
There's Hernandez. Kimmich gets it to Alaba. Started with a well-won ball by Bantani. He tried to boss the game as well. Müller was up for grabs, that one. Patrice Evra. The ebb and flow of the Champions League round of 16 tie. Bayern Munich were almost coasting. Scoring an exquisite second goal for the German champions, but Dybala has given Juve hope. And now Lewandowski and Mandzukic squaring up to each other. Well, you can't do that sort of thing.
He's almost out of control. Mandzukic, it's almost like he's looking for an argument.
Motion with the head towards his opponent, Mandzukic.
Well, he did it twice. He provoked Lewandowski. Probably not happy. He took his position. He's on the edge, Mandzukic, no question.
The decibel levels upped. Juventus believing again. Kimmich this time with Mandzukic. See a change in approach from Bayern Munich, are you?
Well, they've got a lifeline now, Juventus. They need to find a way, see if they can get a second one. Shouldn't really be in this game, but they are.
It was Costa for Thiago. Robin. Kimmich, plenty of space there for Douglas Costa. And Müller attacking the ball, he's got the arm raised. There continues Robin. Bonucci's header down, Cuadrado. But it's Vidal trying to start something again for Bayern. Bernat. Douglas Costa. Here's Thiago. Robin for Müller, trying to hit the byline. It's Barzagli away for Juventus. They've got to defend so watchfully for most of this game, Juve. Kimmich trying to spin and turn, Mandzukic following through, and he had the beating of Vidal. Now Dybala making the run into the centre, Cuadrado involved as well, and the fingertips of Neuer. Much better from Juventus.
I think now the fans believe as well. Good counter-attack from Juventus. Cuadrado almost hits it too clean. Just hits it right at Manuel Neuer.
Stefano Sturaro ready to come on. As Dybala takes the corner. Strong header away by Vidal. Cuadrado kept it on the ground. Candino's little flick. Here's Paul Pogba trying to steady himself. Pogba! Juventus emboldened. But Pogba couldn't quite hit the target.
Well, they've come to life, Juventus. That's a good chance for Pogba. Vidal, that's so sloppy. Just gifts it to Mandzukic. Just waits and finds Cuadrado. That's a good save from Neuer. That could go onto the top of the net. Almost hits it too clean, Cuadrado.
Sami Khedira will be the player to make way for Stefano Sturaro. Former Genoa man is on. One goal in 20 appearances this season. Khedira will be a spectator the rest of the way. Couple of quick programming notes. Dynamo Kiev against Manchester City tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Big one for City in Ukraine. BT Sport Europe for that game. And BT Sport 2 for PSV against Atletico, 7 o'clock. Neuer in no hurry. And he's hearing it from the Juventus supporters. And Robin to hurdle the advertising board there, Arjen Robin. Thomas Müller. Challenge went in from Müller on Hernanes.
Getting a bit frustrated by Bayern Munich. Had this game completely under control. One mistake from Kimmich, and Juventus are back in it.
Sturaro. Battle of 27s. Sturaro against Alaba. Here's Müller now. Trying to turn. Zalyi and Pogba. Bayern have it again. They nearly did. Douglas Costa. Now they might. Cuadrado. And Martin Atkinson felt it was a bookable offence. Lewandowski arguing the case. Booking it is for Robert Lewandowski.
Well, he's just trying to win the ball. Cuadrado trying to play it to the left. Just catches him on the foot. Well, he doesn't at all. He actually kicks the ground.
So angry, annoyed about it. I thought Juventus had more momentum. Philipp Lahm. It ought to be more comfortable than this for Bayern Munich on the balance of play. It's Müller who felt the pain that time. And Hernanes has gone to ground as well. Lewandowski, a shrug of the shoulders.
Well, Hernanes has had a good impact on the game. Again, nothing in that at all. That's a foul from Hernanes on Müller.
Stefan Lichtsteiner. His raids have been very restricted tonight. We see Lichtsteiner flying forward on that right-hand side for Juve. Valtani. Vidal. To Alaba. And the flag has gone up.
See Dybala's offside. He's the one player we need to play into space. The moment he's had possession, he's looked very, very good. It's not enough.
Thomas Müller, after Arjen Robin had got stuck in for Bayern. Thiago, Douglas Costa. Off as Lichtsteiner for Juventus. Douglas Costa. Goal kick it'll be. Douglas Costa, the £21 million signing from Shakhtar Donetsk. 5-year deal with Bayern.
What a signing he's been. He must be worth double that now. He's probably the best player I've seen that a lot of people probably had never heard of. Playing in the Ukrainian league. Such an incredible impact he's had on Bayern Munich.
Benatia is poised to come on. So Bayern with defensive cover on the bench. Benatia not long back in training, been out with a variety of muscular injuries. Bayern signed Serdar Taski, a man from Spartak Moscow. He's had his difficulties on the injury front and the playing sense as well. Certainly in the weekend against Darmstadt didn't impress. It's Bernat whose number is up. Juan Bernat to be replaced by Mehdi Benatia, captain of the Moroccan national team, although French-born. Benatia knows plenty about Italian football. His time at Roma and Udinese.
Well, they're going to need another centre-back, big body. See Morata coming on as well. Juventus in this second half will go a little bit more direct, get balls into the box.
It's going to be Dybala.
That tells you everything. They're going to go route one. Mandzukic, Morata.
Should have spotted Juve's intention to make this change. Well, Dybala, well taken goal to lift Juventus back into it. On has come Alvaro Morata. Well, he's played in the last two Champions League finals. Here's Mandzukic. Can Juve throw at Bayern in the final quarter of an hour? Even Turin. Douglas Costa less than pleased. Cuadrado running at the defenders, and having just come on, Morata tried to test Neuer but didn't get hold of it at all.
Well, Cuadrado so quick, so positive, always running forward. Morata doesn't catch that.
Could be a tension-laden final 15 minutes. Juve back in with a shout. Mandzukic for Morata. Yes! Another one! Goodness gracious me! It's all erupting at the Juventus arena. Sturaro the substitute to make it 2-2. From 2-0 down. Incredible stuff.
A brilliant run from Sturaro. Just runs off the back of Kimmich. Just not a well Sturaro at all. That's a terrific ball for Morata. Just wonder maybe if Manuel Neuer can come out. What a great goal from Juventus. Quick direct play. All one touch.
Thomas Müller wins the free kick this time. Bayern fans must be wondering where on earth has this come from, because they look so comfortable leading 2-0. Juve had been quiet in an attacking sense, but first Dybala and now Sturaro, and who knows what's going to happen next, Owen.
Oh, still 20 minutes to go. I think there's goals left in this game.
Just walking away. Taken by Thiago. And Buffon watching it. Lewandowski tried to make contact with the ball. This was earlier.
Really good from Pogba, direct. It's a great header from Morata. And Serral senses the danger, just gets in the box, really well-timed run. Kimmich just loses sight.
Unbridled joy. Mandzukic. Sturaro trying to link the play. Hernanes. There's Barzagli now. Juve seek out more gaps. Evra. Pogba, Morata, trying to dish it off for Cuadrado. Ryan Robin, these quick steps of his. And down he goes, and Martin Atkinson thought he was fouled. And the card is produced. Morata, not long out there on the pitch, receives his punishment.
Well, it's a completely different second half from Juventus. Far more energy and effort. Better in possession. Clinical in front of goal. I think they capitalise on a mistake from Bayern Munich for the first. And we're much more positive in this second half.
Douglas Costa and Cuadrado for company. Trying to use his body to good effect. Pogba. There goes Benatia. Able to win the ball as well. Müller and Lam and Lewandowski. And it's Lam in pursuit of it. Off the head of Benatia, Mandzukic. There's the Juventus player on the ground. Things looking up for Signor Agnelli.
Nothing at all from Benatia. Good clean header. Champions League, you need to take your chances. Juventus get themselves back in this game when they looked like it was game over.
Booted away by Vidal. Might just stay in. Let's see. Vidal and Mandzukic. Arturo Vidal spent 4 years playing for Juventus before the move to Bayern last summer. It's got a bit feisty at times. They're being called over, Vidal and Mandzukic, by Martin Atkinson. And the Bayern Munich supporters, and so many of them here tonight, probably thought Bayern were as good as through when it was 2-0. Different equation now.
And 2 away goals. Still it's a brilliant first half from Bayern Munich.
Trying to delight the crowd, as he very often does. Lam is the defender with him. Divots kicked up there. Replaced by Martin Atkinson.
What a turn for Pogba.
Do Juventus have a third goal in them? What a story it would be. Taken by a man Jimenez. Here's Cuadrado. And Robin. Plenty of pacing around from Max Allegri in the technical area. 4 goals shared evenly. And still time for more. Cuadrado. Morata created space. Here's Lichtsteiner. And Pogba with a header. Goal kick.
Well, it's good pressure from Juventus. Lichtsteiner just stands it up. And Kimmich does well just to put Pogba off. Just gets a body on him.
Another change here. Douglas Costa will be replaced. And on will come a returning Franck Ribéry. Bayern delighted to have him back. One injury problem after another for Ribéry these last, 3 years really. Let's quickly tell you about the Europa League. Liverpool against Augsburg coming up Thursday 5:30. BT Sport Europe for that game. 0-0 from the first game. Manchester United against Midtjylland Thursday 7:30 BT Sport 2. And it's Spurs and Fiorentina BT Sport ESPN 7:45. All those games Thursday night in the UEFA Europa League. I hope you've enjoyed this with us tonight on BT Sport, and it's not finished yet. What's in store for us near the end? Ribéry. Back with Thiago. Comes off Barzagli, Bonucci and Lichtsteiner called upon to judge that spinning ball. Taken by Alaba, cushioned by Müller. Most people reckon there would be a few goals tonight. Certainly that was Max Allegri's view. Didn't see anything other than a high-scoring contest. Juventus were lifeless in the first half. It was all Bayern. Ribéry and Alaba. Ribéry. Alaba all the way to Robin. He was forced to play it back. Benatia. Not what the front players, Müller included, wanted. So how would you sum up this first leg, Owen?
Well, Bayern Munich absolutely dominated that first half. Brilliant performance. Absolutely deserves to be in the lead. Juventus were second best in every department. But Bayern were absolutely in control. 2-0. Kimmich makes a mistake. And Dybala with a very good goal. And they just got back into it, Juventus. Made some changes in that second half. Hernandez came on. It's had a good impact on the game. Paul Pogba's been very influential. But Bayern Munich just let this one get away a little bit. They were absolutely in cruise control.
Robin is trying to hurdle Ebra, still with Arjen Robin. Does he mean business here? Leonardo Bonucci, the epitome of calm. Robin's throw. Lewandowski is trying to confuse Bonucci. Morata. Thiago, Lewandowski. Almost draped all over him. Bonucci. Nobody there to get on the end of his pass. Well, you've got to credit Juventus. They were certainly down and many suspected out. And the Robin goal went in. They picked themselves up.
They're probably still out of it, but they made a game of it. No question. 2 away goals from Bayern Munich. They're significant, but a good response in this second half. Completely outplayed in that first half.
Ribéry over on the left-hand side, and it was Buffon. Well, that died. He had to react in that fashion. Mandzukic, Müller moves away from him. So that's a duck out of the way. Robin. And the corner conceded by Andrea Barzagli. Mandzukic, the player who's gone down.
Well, Ribéry's looked very lively since coming on. Been out for a very long time. So good on this left side. Just need somebody to get across. Muller, Lewandowski, they're normally there. They need to hang on, Juventus.
Well, 2-2 going to Munich would give Juve a chance. Bayern are the favourites as things stand. Tactical back and forth has been very instructive this evening. Taken by Thiago, and the header from Benatia wasn't all that far away.
It's not far away. Buffon has it covered.
It's a terrific amphitheatre, this. The Juventus Arena. Juve's 5th season here, capacity just over 41,000. Fans were shaken, and Bayern scored their first 2 goals. 2-2 at the moment. Morata and Vidal was the offender, and it's a yellow card for Arturo Vidal against his old club.
Just mistimes this. Vidal tries to nick it. Morata goes around it. No question, that's a yellow card. They need a good delivery.
Inching towards 90 minutes. Tension levels ratcheted up again. Hernandez and Neuer. He's happy to punch. Lichtsteiner. Now Pogba. There'll be 3 added minutes, a minimum thereof. And Bonucci gives it a thump. Leonardo Bonucci. Trying to test Manu Neuer. Now he's got to get back. He's not the only one. Ribéry. Müller and Lewandowski with him. Ribéry. Trying to push it through.
A good strike from Bonucci. Just unfortunate that goes straight at Manuel Neuer. He'd love a third. Allegri. But Bayern on the counter-attack can break so quick.
Bayern, who won at this venue, the quarter-final stage in 2013. For a victory earlier in this game. Morata trying to force another mistake. It's forward by Neuer. And Müller sees it go his way. And Manes trots away from the scene of the crime.
That's a foul from Hernandez on Muller. lucky he didn't get carded for smashing it away.
Nobody in the Bayern camp thought this was going to be straightforward. When they arrived here in Turin, short flight from Munich yesterday. My goodness, they strolled through the first half. It was a passing masterclass. And Juve, quite frankly, couldn't get close to them. Goals from Müller and then from Robin. We thought Bayern were going to race away with it. Tremendous courage, gumption, determination from Juventus. Lam. Deep in added time now. Müller. Robin. Müller for the hold-up play. Lam. Lewandowski, can he find it? By Quadrado. Hernandez. It's Robin. A concession of a throw. And that is all for the first leg here in Turin. But the Juventus supporters in better spirits now. Things look bleak for the old lady of Italian football. But they've restored pride and they've given themselves a chance. Dybala and Sturaro with the goals for Juve after Müller and Robin had netted for Bayern Munich. Max Allegri, Pep Guardiola, tremendous mutual respect there, and these two sides will do it all over again on the outskirts of Munich in just over 3 weeks' time. We've been thoroughly entertained. This first leg has finished Juventus 2, Bayern Munich 2.
And what a great game to watch that was. Derek, Owen, thank you both very much. But who saw that coming? Bayern 2-0 up and cruising. They stop playing, start making errors, and Juve capitalise. The scoreline looks far more positive for the hosts. It's now the little task of going to Munich, where they will need to score. And you've got to say, Michael, that's an impressive response from Juve in that second half.
It was a